All right, our recording is in progress. So, the official welcome to ACIM Talks with Reverend Jim. I'm always glad to be here because I like to talk a lot, and I certainly appreciate those that are willing to come out and talk with me. It's Monday, February 12th, and gee, my week's going good. My weekend was good. Oh my goodness, last week was good. Yeah, now, it wasn't without problems. It's just that I don't have problems anymore, just
Situations.
situations requiring my loving attention.
Yes.
And I give them their due, and they kind of move on and make room for new situations. So maybe there's growth in that. Maybe it's all taken me somewhere because the law of cause and effect says there's probably a reason that those situations are occurring. It's not just at random. Course in Miracles says there are no coincidences, right?
Right.
So what are you going to do? Run away from them? Because the Course says everything is in my own best interest. So I've changed a lot over the years. I'm a lot more open. I don't try and fight against stuff. I kind of just face up to it. And really, I think I'm more courageous for following that instead of, oh, I hate this, or I'm angry at that, or get out of my life. I just try and embrace it all. And I'm pretty good at it. You know what I'm saying? How are you guys doing tonight? Everybody okay? Got any
Yeah.
situations? I mean, that's kind of a rhetorical question. I'm sure we all do.
I
But
have mine all ready to tackle in the morning. That's what I've done.
all right. Now, what happens here, and you've got a track record to confirm this, is that when you handle a situation, it's almost like it creates a vacuum for the next one, right?
Yeah,
So why do we
for
keep
sure.
acting surprised when another shows up? It's been that way all my life.
Yes, it's getting that way all my life now, too.
And yet we're becoming stronger as situation managers. Isn't it Nietzsche, the German philosopher, that says that which does not kill you makes you stronger?
I don't know who said it, but I've heard it and it's true.
So I'm going, ah! At my age, right?
Yeah.
Smile on my face. Ron said he'd be late coming in, and Meg Cowan, I don't know if you remember Meg, but she's still not able to join us, but she's doing okay, and she likes the recordings, and she let me know that at least. On the agenda tonight, Kathleen sent me a song that resonated with her, I guess, from some of our previous conversations on ACIM Talks. And so I thought maybe that would be a fitting way to get things started tonight. So if it's okay, no, anything you want to say or share before we move on? Okay. Well, let's play this little song here. I think you will like it. Let's see. I think it's a video, so I need to optimize for video and then see if I can play this here. This. Oh, somebody just came in. Let's let them in. And so who's there? I can't see the screen. Any new people there?
Ron is.
Hey, Ron's here. Hi, buddy.
Hi, everybody.
Hey,
Hi,
man.
Ron.
Listen, we can't see each other. I was just getting ready to play a song, okay? Ron?
Yeah, I see you.
All right. Well, good deal. I'll start the song.
I am that, 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 I am not my body, not my physical qualities. I am not my thinking, not my mental philosophies. I am not my emotions, not my race or religion, not my country and nation, not even a man or a woman. I am that, 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 I am Nisaga Data says that I am that, I am Shri Muji Baba says that I am that, I am Shri Ramana says that I am that, I am Jesus Christ says that I am that, I am not my history, not imagination or memories, not my talents or my abilities. I was here long before they came to me. I am not my circumstance, not my money in the bank, not good or bad reputation, not my job, not my occupation. I am not, 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 I am that, I am that, I am that, I am Nisaga Data say that I am that, I am Shri Muji Baba say that I am that, I am Shri Ramana say that I am that, I am Jesus Christ say that I am that, I am Baba Ji say that I am that, I am Muji Baba say that I am that, I am Jesus Christ say that I am that, I am Muji Baba say that I am that, I am.
You say I am. I say I am. This I am. It's not a person. It is consciousness. It is a godly presence inside each one. We must not use it foolishly. When you say I, remember God. It is the God principle in you that is speaking. You must come to know it as not personal, but impersonal, uncreated, unborn, imperishable. It is the original one. To know this is to find freedom in God. To not know this is to be asleep. Respect, honor, value this name that God gave you, the name I am. It is truth. It is love. It is consciousness. It is God. remember this deep within your being and be happy. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up.
I liked it.
That was neat, very different.
Yeah.
Great.
I enjoyed it as well.
Me too.
Yeah, helpful, right? And, we talk about I am in the sense of what am I? And what would you say to that? Let alone what Rami and Muji and all the saints were that they showed and referred to, and Jesus. What would you say I am?
God.
Yeah.
Yeah, and maybe to make it a bit more universal and not so much a personification, how about the L word?
Love.
Love. Yeah.
So every time and when you read your course and study it, have you ever noticed any place you see God, you can put the word love and it reads just fine, and vice versa? So they said, I am love. And how can I be love? That sounds like a non-human persona, not physical. Does that mean in truth we're not physical?
Yep, sure does.
Yeah, I think it does.
Okay, so let's say we're something else like spirit.
Spiritual.
Could a spirit be love? Does that kind of okay, it fits?
Yeah,
Yeah, I think so.
So they referred to I am as consciousness, didn't they? Do you remember that?
yeah,
And that's a spirit, that's a loving spirit, that's conscious of what it is. So to me, it keeps answering the universal question, what am I? That's the most universal question of our species, isn't it?
yeah.
I gotta be messed up to not know what I even am.
Most
Right?
of us
We're all
are.
messed up.
Where is it in the course where Jesus says, this is an insane world, and do not underestimate the extent of its insanity? It's like this tiny mad idea that's been enlivened and grows and spirals and gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, powered by the greatest power there is, the power of thought. And boy, even the messes it creates are enormous. So much so, I feel like a kid that's gotten into a mess I can't get out of. I need a savior. And fortunately, God must have heard my prayer and provided the Savior. Lesson 358 says, no call to God can be unheard nor left unanswered. And I used to think, I love you, Jesus, but that's a bit of hyperbole. I mean, I don't know if all my prayers have been answered. And then I read the last part of that lesson title, you know, at the end where the lesson titles get so long. And I got the second part. It says, no call to God can be unheard nor left unanswered, but of this I can be sure, his answer is the one I really want. So maybe he has been answering all my prayers, but they didn't look like the answers I was looking for. And so I missed it. But now I feel like my eyes have been opened and I can hear in my vision, and I've gotten this kind of Christ vision thing going, right? That the Course talks about. And now I can see answers. And that's a miracle for me.
Mhm.
Participate. Hello. Hello. Oh, you're not
Are you listening?
You're listening still, right?
Yes.
And
I
but
think,
your
I think you
ego-
mentioned what we want. I'm trying to figure out in my own mind, what is the difference between wanting and needing? Are they the same?
Not necessarily.
they're both erroneous
Mm.
because I have no wants and I have no needs.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just perfect as God created me.
Mm-hmm.
If I
Good
would
answer.
let go of grievances called wants and needs, I'd have everything I need for perfect happiness.
Mm-hmm. It's
Helpful, Ron?
Yes, very much so.
I'm
Thank
not
you.
avoiding your question. I'm just
you didn't.
saying questions, no offense, and not for Ron. Let me spread it out to our whole audience. There's a phrase in the Course where Jesus says, the ego analyzes and what? And the Holy Spirit accepts.
Ooh.
that's what I was just going to say. It's getting to that place where we're open to receive.
Yes. I'm not grasping for things.
Yeah.
The more open and accepting I am, the more I receive. So I'm not working and striving and stuff like I used to. I just trust. And everything I need shows up. Anybody experiencing that?
Some, but not enough.
Yeah.
Okay, and who is it that said not enough? Starts with an E.
Ego.
Yeah.
Okay, now no offense, we all still have one, right?
Yep.
Yes.
But when we talk about the ego, it's not this objective thing we can sit out on a table and talk about. It's active and alive, quote unquote, right now.
Mm-hmm.
Everything we see and hear is going through that ego filter. And the ego said, well, let me see. Do I like this? Okay. Now, again, I'm not picking on anybody. I'm not attacking in that sense,
Yeah.
but we're kind of truth tellers.
Yeah.
Kathleen, you had a comment here?
Well, I was just gonna say, for me, it's something I'm dealing with now. It's a fear filter. And I have to I'm working really hard not to get so wrapped up in the fear that I forget to open up to receive. Because that I'm really it's, it's releasing old stories, and with those old stories comes the fear that is generated around it. And it's so then you see the rest of the world through the lens of fear.
Yes.
And so I've had to really pray and watch how I pray, watch I have really had to watch my vocabulary to see, am I open to receive, or is it just the ego saying something else to camouflage?
It's very tricky.
Yeah.
So don't play it cheap, okay?
Yeah.
Don't dismiss what we're up against here.
Yeah.
That's why I friggin' need help.
Yeah.
So I've committed my life to depending on trusting that help.
Yeah.
And it's taken me through some very difficult things with a smile on my face.
And I think sometimes why it's so hard is the ego seems to make things concrete, whereas the trusting isn't. It doesn't have that. It doesn't have that earth plane concreteness. It has that openness. It has that being. It
Yeah.
has that just trust.
Yeah.
It's because there's nothing that really can prove it, but neither is there anything that can disprove it. So it's just just attempting to listen and be sometimes is enough in
That
itself.
is the challenge in itself,
Yeah. Yeah.
is to be able to ignore this thing.
Yeah.
Moreover, to only use it when you need it,
Yeah.
like for appointment scheduling, like for meeting up with your friends or planning your weekend, or making sure you don't walk into a tree, or making sure you don't crash your car when you're driving. It's good for stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's a servant, but it's a poor teacher.
Yeah.
Okay. Listen, I figured I'd play that little song, and knowing you guys, you would talk forever about it. So I'm looking at the time. We're almost done with Charles Anderson.
Mm-hmm.
And so we've got a few suggestions as to what we'll start working on next. I don't know what it is, but I'm sure by the time we finish Charles Anderson, what's next will arrive. So you notice I'm not reaching and searching for it, am I?
Oh,
I
You're
just
trusting.
that when we finish this, the next one will be what it's supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a naive trust. It's an evidence-based trust, because it's gotten me a long way. It's helped me for a long time now, you see. So I trust it implicitly, I guess, would be the word. Shall we get over to Charles?
Sure.
okay,
All right. We left off on let me just take care of this. I think page 42, I think there are only 44 or 45 pages to this thing. So I'm gonna open it up and, I think we're in the right place already. I kind of queued it up before, so let me get it bigger here. All right, so that's 41. So this is 42. We had read from the big book of Alcoholics Anonymous, and we had a discussion about that. And I remember rarely have we seen a person fail. And there was some discussion about why it doesn't work every time or whatever. But they said rarely. Our stories describe in a general way, Charles Anderson says, and he's primarily, I guess, speaking of 12-steppers. Our stories disclose in a general way what we used to be like, what happened to us, and what we are like now. If you have decided you want what we have and are willing to go to a little length, is that what he said?
Any length.
Yeah, in the Bible it says, who having found his treasure would not give up all he possesses to have that treasure? So the course, we've gone over this a number of times, says, it didn't say I want to see things differently, did it?
No.
It says I am determined to see things differently. And then what happens? It kicks it up to a new level in lesson 27. Anybody remember what the next level is after I am determined to see things differently? Above all else, I am determined to see things differently. So Charles Anderson says, go to any length to get it. If you're willing to do that, then you're ready to take certain steps. At some of these we balked. We thought we could not find an easier, softer way, but we could not. With all the earnestness at our command, we beg of you to be fearless and thorough from the very start. Some of us have tried to hold on to our old ideas, and the result was nil until we let go a little bit.
Completely.
And he says, absolutely. So do you see the level of determination we're talking about, whether it's the course or the 12-step program? Half measures availed us nothing. We stood at the turning point. We asked for his protection and care with complete abandon. And so that's my little Reverend Jim preliminary to get us in the mood for this again, okay? You ready to do the reading list? All right. So Sherilyn is reader. Sherilyn, can you see?
I can see it, but it's not a full screen. I can't read it.
All right, no worries there. We'll just pass forward tonight and try and
Okay.
get that taken care of. So
I don't-
we'll say Kathleen is 1, Joan 2, D 3, Ron 4, and I'll be number 5, okay? Kathleen, just get started. Read as much as you want. It's probably good, right?
Sure. Here are the steps we took, which are suggested as a program of recovery. 1, we admitted we were powerless over alcohol and that our lives had become unmanageable. 2, came to believe that a power greater than ourselves could restore us to sanity. 3, made a decision to turn our will and our lives over to the care of God as we understood him. 4, made a searching and fearless moral inventory of ourselves. 5, admitted to God and to ourselves and to another human being the exact nature of our wrongs. 6, were entirely ready to have God remove all these defects of character. 7, humbly asked him to remove our shortcomings. 8, made a list of all persons whom we had harmed and became willing to make amends to them all. 9, made direct amends to such people whenever possible, except when to do so would injure them or others. 10, continued to take personal inventory, and when we were wrong, promptly admitted it. 11, sought through prayer and meditation to improve our conscious contact with God as we understood him, praying only for knowledge of his will for us and the power to carry that out. 12, having had the spiritual awakening as a result of these steps, we tried to carry this message to alcoholics and to practice these principles in all our affairs.
I like it. Your comments? How come he always says God as we understood him?
Because everyone has their own interpretation, I think, of what God is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
that's what I got out of it
Yeah.
too.
And that interpretation can change as we grow
Yes.
and mature.
Okay.
Doesn't stay the same necessarily.
Mhm.
Yes, good points, good points. Would you rather be comment? Was there a comment? No?
No.
Would you rather be right or happy?
happy.
Happy.
Well, why would what's in here that would make me even think of that? That's from A Course in Miracles, right? Would you
Yeah.
rather be right or happy? I think the whole thing is the reason you're not happy is because you're not right. I mean, that sounds blunt, doesn't it?
The course says that exactly. It says, best hope that you're not right if you're not happy.
So if you want to be happy, the first thing I have to do is admit I was wrong. I got it all wrong. I made a mistake. That's a pretty courageous act, isn't it?
It sure is.
And so, what are some of the ways you teach it to yourself that you made a mistake?
Some of the ways we teach it to ourselves, is that what you
Yes.
said?
How do you teach yourself? How do you demonstrate that you made a mistake before and that you are willing to correct the mistake?
Well, in the 12 steps, you make amends.
Yes. Do you see there's always theory and application. They're not separate. Application brings life to latent theory. The theory is there, but it can't help me until I apply it. I can be so loving and God, I love you and everything. You know I do in my prayer closet. But what kind of person am I when I'm not in the prayer closet? I have to learn to bring the prayer closet and put it into action, or it won't help me.
And that's
And I
where the
also,
concept of trust comes in, when we trust God.
And
I'm
if
sorry,
you
go
really-
ahead, Dee.
Jesus says, if you want to be my disciple, do what I do. Excuse me for interrupting, Dee. You had a comment.
oh no, it's fine. I was going to say, on the other hand, I also need to understand that I have a choice, what my choices are, before I can act on it. Because prior to being on this path, I didn't know that there was a different way. So it's both the understanding or the being exposed to, it's both sides. Like you said, you can't just have the theory, you need to put it into action. But if I don't have the theory, what am I putting in action if I'm not aware of another way, another choice?
And if you don't accept the theory, you won't have the theory. And when you don't have the theory, you cannot put it into action. So ignorance is, I got it. I got that. But now that you know, it does nothing for you unless you put it into action. And go ahead, dear.
I was just going to say, in the 12-step program, there's the 3 A's. There's awareness, there's acceptance, and then there's action.
And they're not separate.
Right.
For it to work, I have to accept all of those to see it make a difference, you see?
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes I can get so hung up on the theory, even once I start to get beyond, get into acceptance. Even once I accept the theory, there are people that spend their whole lives in the theory and wonder why it doesn't work for them.
Yeah. And I added another A. I added appreciation.
Oh, good one. Gratitude, right?
Yeah.
Lesson 194. Love is the way I walk in gratitude. Do you see any counterparts? Here, let's look at what are some of the action steps in 12 steps after we've discovered the theory and made a decision to turn our will and our lives over to the care of God. Then what? To show that we really have committed to this. What are some of the things done in 12 steps?
Work on myself.
Okay, that's the moral inventory.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Okay. Okay. And what else?
Turn to God.
Mm-hmm.
Come out of the prayer closet, didn't you?
Mm-hmm.
What was the first step out of the closet? Number 5, I'm seeing.
Yeah.
Because I not only have to admit it to God, I have to do what else?
Admit it to ourselves and to another human being.
All right. Action, right?
Yeah.
this is about readiness in 6. I'm talking to God and praying in 7. And then I got back into earth plane at 8, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what did I do at 8? Made a
Made
plan.
amends. Yeah, made amends, made a list and made to make amends.
Okay, and then when I made the list of all the persons, what did I have to do besides put it on paper?
To actually make the amends.
To actually go to these people, right?
Yep.
Accept and attempt to make amends and accept when. I'm still on 9.
Well,
If it would hurt them.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
why would you not try to make amends if it would injure them or others?
Well, it
'Cause
kind of defeats the purpose of making the amends.
Yeah, I'd say because it's not loving.
Yeah.
I am so caught up in my ego to make me feel better that I'll hurt you to make me feel better.
And in essence, when you're making amends, you're doing a forgiveness to yourself.
Yes, you're helping to dispel
Mm-hmm.
by resolving as many issues and hurts and attacks as you can.
And when you make amends, you don't have to necessarily convince the other person to accept your amends. It's the act of making the amends.
Yes.
So as in the Course in Miracles, it's the act of forgiveness.
Yes. Okay. So sometimes it doesn't matter if they forgive you. That's on them.
Right.
But I did my part. I can't do more than my part because they have free will also. And love always respects free will because that is the hallmark of love, is freedom, not imprisonment. It's acceptance, not attack. So whenever to do so would injure someone in any way, I put it out there. They weren't receptive. I respect that. I love them, whether they know they love me or not yet. Because I used to be like that. I can relate. All right. The personal inventory is an ongoing process. And what's this number 11? You mean I'd never stop praying, or is that what you're saying? You know, on the manual for teachers, I forget what number it is. It's a question that says, can God be reached directly? And Jesus's answer in short is yes, absolutely. But it does require a diligent, genuine effort. But yes. So who was it? Sherilyn and I were talking before everybody got here and just talking about the idea, the goal of meditation is to actually commune with God. And the way we do it is to the best of our ability is to erase
Yourself utterly.
Okay. Stop thinking.
Yep.
having a spiritual awakening. I'm at number 12.
Mm-hmm.
What does it say you have to do to make this plan work?
Demonstrate.
You have to demonstrate its efficacy, its ability to produce a result by you being evidence and testifying and witnessing to how it helped you. So if you're not going to share it with others, it won't work for you. That prayer we always say, I forget, I'm here only to be truly helpful. What's the last line of it?
I'm here to represent him who sent me.
Keep going.
I do not have to worry about what to do or what to say, because he who sent me will direct me.
And
I
keep
will be
going.
healed as I let him teach me to heal.
That's the last line.
Mm.
I will be healed as I let him teach me to heal other people. So if I got this and I don't share it with others, but keep it for my own little puny self, does that sound like the Holy Spirit or the ego?
The
Ego.
There
ego.
you go.
Do you see why it's imperative to share it? Now, I don't mean go tell people about it only, do I?
Mm.
I need to show it to demonstrate what it's done for me. Don't you see that in A Course in Miracles also?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Enough on that. Comments from you, my friend.
Yeah, I truly appreciated going through each step and the way we discussed it, because it brings it just solidifies how closely the both of these programs are to one another.
Was it you that sent me this one, Kathleen?
This article?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been so long, I forgot who
Yeah.
said it. But
Yeah.
you see how perfect it's been for our group. I've gotten a lot out of it. Like I said, I'm not a 12-step person per se. So it's really helped me. I didn't know that. So thank you, Kathleen.
Mm-hmm.
And you, Kathleen's going to say, don't thank me, thank the Holy Spirit. He's just
Yeah.
looking through me.
Yeah. Because the way I got this article, I don't know what I was doing. I think I just asked, and it just kind of appeared in my computer. That's how things do for me. They just appeared, and this whole article just appeared.
Yeah,
And I went, oh, thank you.
I definitely know what you're talking about. It's like spooky,
Mm-hmm.
and you learn to trust that after a while. Our next reader is Joan for this next paragraph. Okay.
Okay. Many of us exclaimed, "What an order! I can't go through with it." Do not be discouraged. No one among us has been able to maintain anything like perfect adherence to these principles. We are not saints. The point is that we are willing to grow along spiritual lines. The principles we have set down are guides to progress. We claim spiritual progress rather than spiritual perfection.
Nice. Let's go to D.
Our description of the alcoholic, the chapter to the agnostic, and our personal adventures before and after make clear three pertinent ideas. A, that we were alcoholic and could not manage our own lives. B, that probably no human power could have relieved our alcoholism. C, that God could and would if he were sought.
Great. That's succinct, boils it down. What do you think? Is that a good summary?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Is that, how would you restate that in Course in Miracles terms if you weren't in AA or NA or 12 steps? What would your statement A be if you were doing a Course in Miracles? A, I was happy. No. A, I was not perfectly happy in all situations. B, there's probably no human solution for it. C, thank God for the course, because the course, the blue book, if you will, for me, taught me how to seek God and find him. Not in heaven by and by, but right here and right now. There is no God. I don't know if there is a God, but the problem with words is that words don't, I mean, that's all we got for the most part right now, but words are certainly imperfect. The reason words are imperfect is because words separate. This is a table, not a chair. This is a chair, not an airplane. So now I got to do these mental gymnastics and go to my dictionary. What then is the definition of a table? And if my definition of a table is wrong, it's wrong what I'm working with. The problem with words is that they require a predicate. What's the predicate? Your perception of what that means. Words cannot define directly. They only call upon your interpretation based on what you think things are, how the world works, and what definitions are of things. And they could be mistaken, can't they?
Yeah.
So there may or may not be a God, but I'll tell you, there's something that seems to run things. You can call it whatever you want. I'm beyond what you call it, okay? But the reality, in my experience, in yours maybe, something seems to run things. And I've learned to get on board with it. And all I can do is hope that it's loving, like all of these writings and masters seem to say. God, or whatever you call it, is love. Okay, I'll take responsibility. I talked over. Okay, it's time for us to close. We've still got another block here or so, right?
Yeah.
So we can tackle that one next week. and maybe just give us some time to think more about what we want to do next. So next time we'll finish this up, as well as make a selection. I'll give you what I have for choices, and you see what else you have, and see what Spirit says we should do next on ACIM Talks. I appreciate you, my friends. I love you. Love is what I am.
Yes.
Love you
I
back.
will attack in any form is never justified. And that's how I'm trying to live my life. And guess what? I'm still alive and prospering. I hope you are too, okay? Did you have fun?
This
Yes.
was great. Thank you.
Yeah, this was my fear and anxiety level is at this moment is gone. So thank you. I
Wonderful.
should have had you in my head starting this morning when I got crazy, but thank you anyways. I truly appreciate you all.
All right. Well, I'm glad I could be of help. Remember, I'm here only to be truly helpful. So thank you for your participation, and I will let you guys go and wish you a
Thank
good
you,
week.
Jim.
And for some of you, at least, I'll see you tomorrow night as well.
Yes. All
Take
right.
care, my friends.
Thank
you,
you.
Jim.
Thank you.
Have a
All
blessed
righty.
week, everybody.
Namaste.
Love you all.
Namaste.
Good night.
Namaste.
Namaste.